Okay. Hello, and welcome back to Unsolicited with Faith, the show where I give you my unsolicited advice. Actually, do I even want to call it unsolicited anymore? I don't know. It's such a long intro, too. Like, I just feel like it never ends. I literally zone out in the middle of every single time I do it. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted in a while. I know. And I know that, okay? I'm sorry. I moved to a new country, all right? And I turned 23 and I miss my mom and I don't know what I'm doing with my life, but that's okay because kind of what this video is about, not necessarily, but there's been a lot going on. But I kind of realized that a lot of my overthinking about this channel and making these videos was rooted in exactly what I'm going to be talking about today. I wrote this script originally around my 23rd birthday, which was in February. Shout out. Yes, thank you. And if you didn't like my birthday post and follow me on Instagram, you're fake. You're fake, okay? So I think just like anybody, around my birthday is when I think the most about the ever-loving doom of getting older, being 1 year farther away from youthfulness than you were the year prior. Just the constant dread that comes from thinking about how much time you have left on this earth, the things you want to do in that time, how overwhelming it can all be. And it made me think a lot about the song Gone Gone Thank You by Tyler, the Creator, from the Igor album, where he has that one song or sound that's like, and I hate wasted potential. That shit crushes your spirit like, you know what I'm talking about? I feel like that song was so popular on TikTok around the 2020 area. Like, it was really where this idea of being the main character started coming onto the mainstream. In my opinion, I think that sound really defined a generation, more or less. And it just started making me think, like, what is this obsession with potential, especially with wasting potential? And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. All right, so let's go ahead and deconstruct this, because you know I just love a little deconstruction moment in an intro. So first we have potential. Potential to me is such a teasing word. The definition is having or showing the capacity to develop into something in the future. And I think that we live in such a highly anticipatory society. We are constantly thinking about the future. We have Roth IRAs, we have retirement funds, we save for rainy days, and we do our best to spend as little as possible in the moment, even though consumerism just is constantly begging us to. And most of us fail, and that's okay, because in actuality, we should be living in the present. I talk about this a lot in my Addison Rae video, The Power of Now, a book by Eckhart Tolle I very, very much like, talks about how the present is all that we have and all that we have control over, and yet we are constantly living either for the future or in the past. I think that this makes words like potential and hope have such this shiny and almost innocent kind of gleam to them. It reminds me a lot of a child or the innocence that comes with adolescence, and it reminds me how much that specific beauty is fragile. And I think paired next to the word wasted, this thing that we've now idealized and that we so much put on a pedestal, I think next to the word wasted, this creates very capitalistic imagery. This is also something that I learned in my international communications class or intercultural communications class. It is really only the Western world who uses words like wasted or spend to describe things like time and money, resources that are actually ever abundant. And you don't really have a tangible physical thing to, but because we're constantly thinking in a linear way, we describe things in that way, even though that's not at all what they are. Time, money, energy, people, our experiences. They're not things that can be defined. They're not things that can be wasted. And just like potential, I think that we create this idea of a finite resource in our heads unnecessarily, and it creates such a beautiful pressure on us. Wasted potential, it makes me feel sick in my stomach just hearing it, because it's something I want so badly and I'm so scared of it fleeing me. Like I said at the top of this video, I really started to wonder, why do we have this fear of wasted potential? Where is it coming from? I think off the top of my head, I was just like, capitalism. Obviously, it's capitalism. We waste things that can't be wasted. We spend things that can't be spent. We use resources, like we use money, because we want to profit off of every single facet of our lives. But I think those are also extremely cold takes. Like, we already know that we live within the iron grips of capitalism that will never ever let up. We all understand that, and that's just a reality. But so I don't really want to spend time talking about that. I also then thought a lot about the experiences of me as a Black person, specifically as a Black American descendant of slaves. Like, I am the first in my lineage since the beginning of America, as far as I'm concerned and I'm aware, who have done a lot of the things that I've done in my life. Like, my experiences of being able to travel and experience different cultures without the amount of prejudice or barrier, especially as a woman, on top of being a Black woman, that's like unheard of, And I also think about how growing up, that was really instilled in me. How if I want to get the things that I deserve, not that I don't deserve them, I just have to work twice as harder in order to get them. Not only because I was Black, but because I was also a woman. But that didn't mean I shouldn't go after them, because unlike my ancestors, that opportunity wasn't even there to begin with. Therefore, to not live up to everything that I aspire to be, that I know is within me, feels like the biggest disservice that I could accomplish in this life, honestly. I think that's why, for me, wasted potential has felt like such a striking fear. I think, unlike my white peers growing up, they didn't have that strong why, I do think I saw it more so in the white girls or the white women around me, where they felt very impassioned about the feminist movement and how they felt really forward about moving towards more capitalist goals, like being a CEO or a girl boss. And even though that pressure of wanting to live up to the dream that of my ancestors and dream of the Black American slave is a lot. It's a lot of pressure. I'm still so ever grateful for it, because it gets me out of bed in the morning and it makes me press the send button, and it makes me want to chase fear and want to do the things that I'm afraid of doing. And even if that take specifically isn't relatable to you, I think that it's just a matter of life. Like, this idea of why do we fear wasted potential? Because that's what life is. Life is such a gift. It's such a unique experience, the human experience. It's not something that every soul gets to experience, or at least at the same time. And so to have it and to be conscious of it is miraculous. Donald Glover said, somewhere, everyone has two lives, and the second life starts when you realize you only have one. So it turns out it wasn't Donald Glover who said that, it was Confucius. Donald Glover, Confucius, easy rookie mistake. Anyone could get that confused, okay? And without thinking about this video too deeply, that's really just what it is. We could say it's capitalism, we can say it's about our racial identities or our gender identities or whatever it may be, but to its core, I think it is just that. And that's something that everybody can relate to. And yet, it's still keeping people from fulfilling it. While I was writing this video, I thought I wanted to kind of deconstruct originally wasted potential and why we shouldn't fear it and yada, 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 yada. But after looking at this script with fresh eyes, because I wrote this around my birthday, it's now like almost 2 months later, I realized that the real issue isn't that people are afraid of wasted potential, it's that people are obsessed with wasted potential, but they are terrified of being perceived as anything less than mastery. Our fear of wasted potential is healthy. We should fear wasting potential because we should fear living a life that just passes you by because of how special life is, you know? I wrote here in my notes, it is a very sad and tragic thing when something that was destined for greatness is smothered out because of internalized fear or environmental circumstance. And I think that's exactly true. And that is why Tyler, the Creator, is so great. So Tyler Gregory Okonma, Nigerian. That's a Nigerian ass name. I do want to do a little intro on Tyler the Creator, but I honestly didn't write one in my script that will do him justice. So all I'm going to say is that Tyler the Creator is he's 35 years old. Damn. Okay, how do I describe Tyler the Creator in like a minute or less? Tyler the Creator is a rapper who started making music when he was around 17, I want to say. I've literally been listening to him since I was in maybe, I kid you not, 3rd or 4th grade, because my sister, who is about 9 years older than me, loved him when she was a teenager. And then when I became a teenager and a young adult, I started listening to him really religiously. And so he's really created a sound for a newer generation of rap that's a lot more experimental. He created a fashion line, did a TV show with his friends. He's written an insane amount of music, and he's just an overall crazy, insane creative who isn't afraid of taking risk and doing things in a way that hasn't been done before by himself. Is extremely admirable. He's probably one of my biggest inspirations. I think the reason why is because he is able to achieve so much. People like Tyler, like Childish Gambino, like Hank Green, who is also just another person who just does so many different things and is still able to do them all very successfully. It's really impressive to me. Are able to achieve so much, I think, because they aren't concerned with perfectionism. Tyler Creator came out with an album called Cherry Bomb, which he himself talks very poorly about. Even though I don't think it's that bad of an album, it didn't do well with ratings. It bombed, quite literally. And people were really talking down on him about it. But he learned from it, and he was able to, after it, make one of the best albums I think that he ever created. And that was because he recognized that failure is a part of the process. I think something that Tyler is really good at is that he does not let his ego get in the way of creating his art. He allows it to exist on its own and say, that's what that's needed to be, and walk away. And sometimes what you have in your head is not always going to be what you can accomplish because you don't have the means or the time or the energy. I heard this quote. I wish I knew where it came from. Anything worth doing is worth doing 10%. And that's it. That's literally the entire point of this video. Like, you don't have to do the 1000%, the 1010%, full lights, production, makeup, costume. You don't have to do that every time. You can have a cute little 1-2 moment with the acoustic in a coffee shop and let that be it. Perfectionism is literally the killer of creativity. And I just think that that's... If I can be candid for a moment, that's exactly why I didn't make videos for so long. Was because I just was so concerned with how to present things in a way that was really picturesque. And then I remembered, actually, one of my first videos that got over like maybe 500 views, I posted this video called I can't afford therapy, so I'm making this video instead. And it got a lot more traction than I thought it would. It was literally just me talking and like talking about my ideas and my thoughts for like 20 minutes straight. And it did really well. And I have no idea why. But I think it's because people really appreciate authenticity. This connects a lot with AI in our modern era and how nothing is better than human hands or human eyes or touch or the grime on an old mom and pop shop. I think there is something so special about the not perfect thing. Imperfections are what make things so much more unique and individual and therefore valuable in our modern day, because everything is reproduced massively. Everything is a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. And when you have an original idea, that alone is way more valuable, way more special. And I know I keep using that word special, but it's what it is. It's unique and it's one of one. And to say that that's nothing because it's not what you think it should be, it's almost disrespectful to the collective, because you don't know who needs to see that stupid TikTok that you think is stupid but might actually change someone's day, you know? Like, I want to say that might sound silly, but I actually don't think I care anymore about sounding silly or stupid. I think that the world is crazy. People are really struggling, and words of encouragement need to be had now more than ever. Make your fucking art. Make it. Let it be bad, post it, and see what happens. If nothing happens, that's it. Your life stays the same. If something happens, congratulations. You did it. You made a change. And I can guarantee you something in you will shift once you try. Because your life is worth trying for. You're worth it. The 10% version is worth it. I don't care. I just want to see it. I want to see people doing shit and not being so critical of themselves. Like, fuck, dude. I really wanted to make this video because I really want people to believe in themselves. I just want to remind myself and other people, even just a drop in the bucket is better than a dry desert. Okay, my time for recording is running out. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked and subscribed. Like and subscribe. Hey, like and subscribe. Why not? I really want to be more vulnerable and transparent in my videos. I think that's why people like me so much. I think it's I like making videos so much, and I really want to keep doing this. Jesus, I don't know how to do outros. Okay, I love you. See you later. Bye.